Gon' vote. Everybody gon' vote. Everybody gon' vote. Everybody gon' vote. Comrade! Labor right, them a go down, bong. Them a go down, bong. Them a go down. Is that? Margie, him a God picking. No hope their work if you touch Margie. Margie, him a God picking. No hope their work if you touch Margie. We now vote for Labour. Orange we a come out in now. If you love the PNP, who no step out for Marky G. Jamaica just come along with we. People time come, people time come, people time is up.
Only thing that's on my mind is who's gonna run this town tonight.
Yeah, I said that we are pledge of allegiance.
Who's gonna run this town tonight?
Yeah, I said that we
We gonna run this town.
Make the trumpets play. Make the trumpets play.
One on foot. I'm the only one here. But I saw 3 police sprinting around, and they were on their walkie-talkie, and they said, "Oh, spot one on foot." So I'm saying one on foot. I'm the only one here. So I looked again when they said one on foot, and then I realized they were talking about me.
So who you support? The police or Jamaicans for Justice? Because it looked like they're drawing a line right down the center, and it looks like you have to choose either or either. Pick your choice, as we say in Jamaica. Well, in the meantime, while you think about that, I have Jerome's story to share with you. So human rights group Jamaicans for Justice had a protest demonstration in Halfway Tree at the end of April because they said they were worried about the number of police killings so far this year. In February, they had said the 50 fatal shootings by the police since the start of 2025 was more than double the number for 2024, which had been 19. So they said they were going protest and everybody getting at their feelings, government in their feelings, police in their feelings, right? And then now this narrative, which not really new, but we certainly heard it very, very strongly, suggesting that you're either for one or the other. And I don't know why people are doing this, right? I 100% support the police. I recognize they put their lives on the line for us every time they go out there to fight criminals. I couldn't do what they do, and I'm grateful for what they do, right? I think about, for instance, the police officer who followed me home in a squad car one day when I was having some difficulties. I think about the police in my neighborhood who were just passing by on patrol one night when I was coming in a little late and stopped the car and stayed there to make sure I got in safe. I am grateful to them. I think about the police who strap up and go out every day, don't know what hell them going into when they're going to be confronting or trying to catch criminals. I appreciate them. I'm grateful for what they do. I think especially in recent times, the police have been doing a great job in terms of cracking some of these horrible murder cases around. I see the convictions showing that the cases are solid. Some are still before the court, but them look solid. I think, for instance, about the very quick action by the police, that issue of that terrible murder of our colleague Barbara Gale. I think about the Beachy Stout murders, and as I said, others that are before the court. But because I appreciate the police and what they do, doesn't mean I can't still think there is some validity to the concerns raised by Jamaicans for Justice. And I don't think this thing is helpful, suggesting that people should take sides, because a whole heap of people, whole heap of young men have stories like Jerome's.
Yeah, this is not a story that I talk about a lot. Well, not anymore, because now I see the humorous side to it, and we laugh about it, and we talk about it, and so on. But like, I think 2017, 2018, so this is not a 2023 or 2024 story. I was coming from Constant Spring Playfield, and I reached a Ruby's gas station at Eastwood Park Road there. Across from the transport center, and I was walking towards the Poppy in UTEC taxi stand. Alright, just as I'm about to pass I'm on the side of the transport center, walking towards the pedestrian crossing. I realized that everybody's running towards me. I heard some explosions, then I say, oh, that's gunshot. So if everybody's running towards me, then there's no need for me to go across the road. So I turned back, went towards the direction of the Ruby's gas station. The police, well, I saw 3 police sprinting around, and they were on their walkie-talkie, and they said, oh, spot one on foot. So I'm saying one on foot. I'm the only one here. So I looked again when they said one on foot, and then I realized they were talking about me. So I said, whoa, this can't be me. So they came across the road and they said, where the gun? I said, which gun? I don't have any gun, brother. He said, on your knees. Hand in the air. Went on my knees, hand in the air. Because I know I am clean. Then the police just put the gun one time at my forehead like this, pointing it in my forehead and said, where the gun? So
I soon share the rest of Jerome's story, but just remember this. Whole heap of young men have stories like that. A whole heap of them who have scary encounters with the police, like Jerome, just don't talk about it. We really only hear the major, most terrible stories that make the news. And yes, there are those as well. My station, the station I work for, TBJ, for instance, reported on the case of a young man who had been shot by police and said he then played dead because he was afraid of being killed. So what's happening now is that everybody is very concerned about what's happening with crime and murder, all right? Well, we're Jamaican, we've been concerned for years, and murders are down. The numbers look good, and that's fantastic news. So Police Commissioner Dr. Kevin Blake, for instance, said in a video statement that April 2025 saw the lowest number of murders in over 20 years, 45 murders compared to 82 in April 2024. And in February, there had been 48 murders, which at that time was the lowest number in 20 years. And look, that's really good news. We don't even have to argue about that. There's nothing to argue about. It's fantastic news. But there is a problem if people are going to want to ignore concerns that are raised about police excesses or police killings because they say, you know, boy, if police kill you something in something, you must did a murder, you must did a criminal because police they know what go on. And accepting just blindly that every single person who is killed by the police must have been firing at them, accepting without question whatever the story it is we're getting from the police. Because it's okay to have questions. It's okay to listen to people who have had scary encounters and to say, hold on, is that right? So this is the Executive Director of Jamaicans for Justice, Michael Jackson, speaking in this JFJ video at the demonstration.
Life moves fast, so do we. Send money quickly with Remitly. Download the app today.
From our accounts, over 100 people came out. We saw the support of our former executive director and co-founder, and it just demonstrates that we are sticking to the mandate of JFJ. So again, we just wanted to say thanks. The strength of the victims that were here today. We celebrate them. We express our empathy for them. And again, let us continue to raise our collective voices in solidarity for the call for the body worn camera. So again, job well done. And to the officers who were here, very pleasant. And they protected us.
So when the police commissioner now goes on to say, even as we make gains, there are those who seek to sow seeds of discord and mistrust, who try to paint our officers as anything but the professionals they are. That's kind of disappointing coming from our top police officer. Hearing the police commissioner say that the JCF is a disciplined, modern law enforcement agency is great. I'm happy to hear that. But it doesn't mean there aren't still areas of concern and that voices of concern can be raised. Because one, there's still areas of concern. And two, the whole point of monitoring the police, right? One of the single most powerful groups in Jamaica with huge power to do good as well as to do bad, one of the points of monitoring is to try to make sure that everything stays on the side of good. You want to make sure we're not crossing over into the kind of scary stuff, and the fact that the police commissioner say, yeah man, everything good, the fact that the Minister of National Security say, yeah man, everything good, doesn't mean say we're supposed to take their word for it without more. Yes, we have INDECOM now, the Independent Commission of Investigation that investigates the police forces, but what you think we got INDECOM is because our used to go on. And yes, a lot of the cases investigated by INDECOM show that police shootings or killings were justified. Not all of them are. So the police commissioner now saying that Jamaica's vicious criminals murder at will, turn their guns on the police. Again, one thing doesn't cancel out the other. All the good that the police do and the fact that criminals take set upon them, and we know that happens, again, doesn't mean there aren't still some concerns about things that the police do. Because, let's go back to Jerome.
Then the police just put the gun one time at my forehead like this, pointing it in my forehead and said, where the gun? I said, I don't have any gun, brother. And the next officer who was beside him said, no, leave this man alone. It's obvious him don't have a clue what's going on. He said, no man, you don't know them money. I'm start search me and touch and realize that, oh, him don't have any gun. Then him say, well, you're lucky. You're lucky this man is here with you. Yeah. So I don't know if it is a lucky escape or him trying to show his dominance or whatever it is. But it took me some time to tell my people. I didn't tell them till like almost a month after. Yeah. And I have police friends. I have police friends. They know that police are not my greatest friends, but I don't have anything against the police. But that was a very scary encounter because on another day, I could just have been, what if? Or that would you probably be singing choir, choruses saying I'm a good person or whatever. But even the night when I got home, all I could see that night was just the gun pointing in my face. I couldn't sleep or anything. But that was very scary.
So apart from stories like Jerome's, thank God, ended happily, he's still here to talk about it. Not all of them end like that, right?
Oh, no, go on the first promise. On the things that we are putting back in the office. On the things that we are novice. On the better listen to this. Vote them out, cause them not see we when we hungry. Vote them out from Kingston to country. Vote them out, cause when they win them a go dump way. We have to tell them promptly, people just vote them out, cause them not see we when we hungry. Vote them out from Kingston to country. Vote them out, we have to tell them promptly, cause when they win them a go dump way. Marky G, you know you the people them really want to see a great leader who will talk for we. Put on the boat and go, they go walk for we. Yes, go march for we, because we have some guy with them on a intention, leading the country in the wrong direction. That's why we come to make we own a selection. This we are gonna do when in call the election. Vote them out, cause them not see we when we hungry. Vote them out from Kingston to country. Vote them out, cause when they win them a go dump way. So we are tell them promptly, people just vote them out, cause them not see we when we hungry. Vote them out from Kingston to country. Vote them out, cause when they win them a go dump way. We have to tell them